Welcome. My name is Jim Bourey.
And I'm Alan Bourne. We are the co-authors of the Suspensefilled novel From Peril to Light. This is our seventh video talking about the book uh, and on our YouTube channel, joining people together. We hope that you subscribe to that channel and that you like our videos.
Last week, we explained about our dream to help unite America, and the part that we think our book, From Peril to Light, can play in that dream. We hope the book will pave the way for people to understand and accept one another. In order for that to happen, people need to learn to listen to one another. In this video entitled, Are We Really Listening? We'll be talking about how we can all be active listeners and how we can all talk to each other. In any discussion about communication, we really must start with exploring the idea of being an active listener, being truly engaged in conversations. Now, there are many reasons why people don't actively listen and really hear people. Sometimes people are concentrating on their own ideas and the next points they intend to make in the conversation, and they're not focused on what the other person is saying. We must practice the adage, seek first to understand, then to be understood. We've said that before, and we think it bears repeating. First, seek to understand, and then to be understood. There's another reason that sometimes people don't listen, don't pay attention, that's fear. We all have fundamental beliefs that help to define who we are. We have ideologies that we identify with. There's organizations we identify with. If someone believes differently than we do, we can feel they may try to undermine our beliefs. If we believe our beliefs are threatened, we'll be not open to listening to and considering others' viewpoints. In order to listen to others' ideas, truly listen, we need to cast away those fears and that may potentially, we think, undermine our beliefs. Sometimes people's insecurity in their own beliefs makes it harder for them to really listen to the viewpoint because they're worried more about their own beliefs. We need to recognize that another person may have that same view and that same feeling and the same fears.
So when we talk to people, the first rule should be that we don't try to undermine what other people's views are. We also don't want to denigrate or try to undermine what organizations they may relate to or what people the people that they look to for ideas. We don't want to directly challenge their ideologies or their belief systems. So we want to discuss them, and if we can leave out the people, leave out organizations or ideologies that might be reasons for conflict, we'd be much better off. We also want to talk not about why someone else might be wrong, but we want to talk about what we may believe or feel. We don't need to challenge them to say, you should believe this, but to say, this is what we believe and what we feel. The other thing is that we should talk about specific issues if we can. And the simpler the issue, the better. Oftentimes, when you have complex issues, there's lots of assumptions that underlie the belief, and it's difficult to sort all those out. So the simpler the issue, the better. I think we can find out that we would have more consensus or more agreement if we do. One really big problem that we've mentioned before is that so many people find that they believe that they can only win if the other person loses and vice versa. So we think if we can get away from that, that we're much better off. So many people want to be heard, and so what's important is that you let them know that you're listening. One way you can do this is by not only listening, but after you hear them, you can say that, oh, I see you understand, you believe this and you believe this, and repeat what they say so that they know that you're understanding them. And if you do, then they will be much more ready to listen to you because they know that you're acknowledging them and you're acknowledging what they think and what they feel. So it does take time to listen. And obviously, to truly listen takes quite a bit of time. And you want to listen with the idea that you're going to learn. And if you do, you will learn things, and it can be helpful. Uh, Somebody in the book, there's an expression that's used that one cannot learn if his tongue is wagging. I love that expression. That's one that Jim came up with.
Yeah, we put together some guidelines, if you will, that if we practice these guidelines, we think we can all become better listeners, and there can be better conversations, more meaningful conversations and exchanges, and we really will help to understand one another better. So let's go with these guidelines. There's 7 of them. The first one is really listen carefully. And that is something that people don't always do. That means don't be on your phone. Really be all engaged. Second, acknowledge what that other person says. Alan gave a little example of that. Acknowledge what they say so they really know that you understand what they've said. You can also tell the other person how you feel or think without challenging their views that they have. Fourth, don't say somebody else's views are just wrong. Don't criticize their ideology or their beliefs. Talk more about what you believe. When you have a conversation, and Alan did mention this, be specific. Break down the issues into smaller, less complicated issues that people can maybe arrive at some understanding with. 6th rule, try to find some areas that you agree first, rather than argue about things that you don't agree. Get that agreement, it gives momentum and it gives a better feeling between the parties. And 7th and finally, stop to consider the merits of what the other person is saying. In our book, From Peril to Light, the characters learn these lessons about listening to others as a result of this, because their lives are dramatically changed because of this. We can all really work on these simple guidelines and make really a difference in our conversations, and a dramatic difference, we think, in our world.
I hope you've enjoyed this week's video and that you're more prepared to listen to others and to learn from them. So thank you so much. Until next week.